Pain could be seen as a gating criteria too, like speed of onset. If you're in intolerable pain, not much else matters. All the more reason to ask, what is pain? Wrapped up in the answer to this not-so-simple question is a great example of basic terminology within a scientific field changing to reflect different mental models of a phenomenon. The sensation formerly known as pain once began with a special type of nerve cell, formerly known as a pain receptor. There were a few types of these pain things designed to tell the brain about differences, like temperature or pressure. Those special nerves had built-in thresholds, so if the temperature, for example, went over the heat limit, the nerve would fire an electrical signal, which gets to the brain in about 2 to 3 1/100ths of a second. According to our current view of things, none of what I just described is pain. What I just described is now called nociception. And the special kind of nerve cells are now called nociceptors, not pain receptors. Some chemistry at the difference detecting end actually produces a little electrical charge which can build up enough to generate a signal. That signal gets routed pretty darn quick in a part of the spinal cord called the dorsal horn, and then finally to your gray matter. It gets processed first in the thalamus and only then to the cerebral cortex, and it's still not pain yet. Just like the nociceptor signals get fast-tracked up, some very powerful signals get fast-tracked back down again before a human being can be said to be aware of this whole process. Commands to specific muscles, analgesic strategies, all this just happens. Eventually, our inner self, who is supposedly in charge of us, gets in on the act. Third and fourth order ramifications of that initial signal make it to the prefrontal cortex. Pain may now be said to happen. In the modern view of things, pain is seen as a conscious and subjective experience. Pain experts feel so strongly about this that the nomenclatural change has been made. Pain is not what our nerves pick up. This is nociception. How we experience the signals is what makes it pain. Makes us more of a partner in it, not just a passive victim on the receiving end of bad news. If that's true, how can we activate the partnership and do something about it? For starters, what about religious faith as a painkiller? We know that people actually choose pain for religious reasons. They whip themselves, wear hair shirts, walk on glass in order to feel what they experience as a redeeming pain. And it seems to work the other way around as well. There is a documented phenomenon known as religion-associated pain resistance. It is real, and it's linked in fMRI studies to activity in an area of the prefrontal cortex involved in assessing the emotional meaning of an experience. In fact, the right ventrolateral prefrontal cortex is the area of the brain that drives our response to any kind of placebo. The right kind of increased attention to the affective side of the pain, how we feel about it, can definitely have an effect that is measurably analgesic. Religious faith works. Other approaches also work, similarly centered on faith and belief, but with differences too, such as locus of control. Choice and an internal locus of control are often linked and seen as possibly contributing to positive outcomes. Are they the foundation for a pain management strategy? According to the research, it all depends on one other crucial ingredient: self-efficacy. If you think you can handle pain, being given choices makes you even better at tolerating it. But if you don't think you can handle pain in the first place, choice doesn't help much at all. Changing the affective spin on signals from our nociceptive system goes only so far. When devout Catholic research subjects were shown images of the Virgin Mary, they could tolerate higher levels of temperature or electrical shock than when they were not. but that nociceptor output became pain to them eventually. Somewhere the threshold got raised, but not eliminated, which leads us to meds and the trade-off that all discussions of pain and death must come to. Pain can eventually keep us from being fully present by seizing our attention. But in suppressing it, we can lose the ability to be present at all. It makes sense to assume there will be pain. If there isn't, you got lucky. Most dying people experience pain, and it is often unrecognized and untreated. Preparation can't make pain not happen, but it can change the levels that demand our attention. Preparation means having good distractions available, whatever that may be. Watching funny TV shows has been shown to help kids tolerate pain. Having plants around help people tolerate pain. People, music, books on tape. A realistic goal would be to have no distracting levels of pain most of the time.